Congratulations to you and Subir for today, but it's a very nostalgic moment for me. Uh, Talking about Dr. Pritam Singh, talking about how I know him for more than 35 years, and talking about his mentorship to me, his being a guru to me, and teaching so much of Indian ethos to me has been a remarkable relationship with one individual. And he was not only a great educationist, but a human being par excellence. I feel there are very few people now for whom I can say this in today's time, human being par excellence. Now, this book has been extremely topical. I would like to first thank Mr. Chaturvedi, Mr. Dwarkanath, and compliment Suresh and Shai Saab about what they said. Excellent ideas, excellent statements. The book is very, very topical and critical about the present status of India. I have done about 42 years in industry, and out of which more than 30 years I'm on the board. I've been on various boards. And let me start with the good news first, because I think it's easy to criticize, but let me start with the good news that I have had great experience of very good board members. And let me point out 2-3 of them. There was a guy called Pulak Prasad on Bharti Airtel board. He was representing Warburg Pincus. And Pulak, being the youngest member of the board, was always most incisive. Very incisive, very contradictory. He always raised issues which are different from what we are discussing. And maybe majority of the times he had an opposite view. And I think he made a very good point always, with logic and with rationality. And all other board members agreed with him, by and large. There are very few times when board didn't agree with him. Second example I'll give you of the audit committee, because audit committees are very important parts of board, is Mr. N. Kumar from Sanmar, Chennai. Fantastic chairman of audit committee. Very tough, but always very supportive. Now, both the qualities together, very important. Similarly, at Softbank board in Tokyo, I had experience with many board members, including Jack Ma. Jack Ma, who's the chairman of Alibaba, he was on the board of Softbank. He's just left 2-3 months back. And whenever I presented to the board, Jack Ma always raised very, very tough questions. And he wanted answers. He discussed details, not only during the board, but during lunchtime also, or during tea time also, or in the evening also. Because I think the board member's duty is to ask the tough questions and not be a great friend. And I agree with Suresh. You can't, it's not a love affair. It's about investors' funds. It's about funds which are coming from society. And safeguarding and being custodian of those funds is a sacrosanct duty. And therefore, boards, the role of boards, as I've read the book, luckily I got the book a few days back. Thanks Asha for that. The role of boards has to be enhanced significantly in terms of professionalism, transparency of data, and very, very high quality corporate governance. And the bad news, I agree with Shai Saab that bad news of corporate still suffering from subjective decision making continues. And of course, I'm not pointing finger at public sector or private sector. I've seen in every part of this country. And when all the sectors are being opened up now, I think in the last few months, many more sectors have been opened up in India, clearly means that more and more global competition, global multinationals will enter India. And what will happen? Because if Indian boards don't become modern, don't lead the reforms, don't understand the impact of technology, which will impact technology will have on the business and on the future, I think it's very difficult to make India the world-class India in terms of industry, in terms of governance, which we all dream of. And I also feel that because of weak professionalism, the competitive edge of India is not as good as we always desire. The competitive edge is that our products and services should be able to compete with any company in the world, any market of the world. That is a simple definition. And the answer is that no, we can't. And we can't, then I think we need to really think about it. Why is the board not leading us towards that goal? Now, I have seen good boards also adding value through strategy. And I remember in Airtel and in some other companies I have been on board, one meeting a year, if not two meetings, are focused on strategic direction, on business model, on partnership ecosystem, etc. Second, values and culture are always discussed in good board meetings. And if there is a tweak required, change required, they are initiated. Major brand and reputation issues, very critical. Brand is not a marketing issue. Brand is the company's name, and reputation of the company is discussed thoroughly. And also during tough times like COVID-19, board takes a very, very empathetic position. Should take empathetic position because country and the world is going through tough times. If board will not take that, who will take that? So I think I have seen boards taking very, very high quality decisions, but there are not many of them. And I'm very clear that if India has to become 5 trillion, if India has to become number 3 economy of the world, the change has to be led by the boards. At the top, to guide the leadership team, to guide the CEO, rather than just do tactical stuff or just do operational stuff. That is not board's duty at all. So I'm very, very clear that this change which Dr. Pritam Singh has recommended and Asha and Subir have also recommended is very, very critical change for India. It's a mandatory change for Indian economy going into future, because moving to a number 3 GDP of the world will not be easy. We were, by the way, number 1 GDP of the world many, many years back, 25% of global GDP, when our values, our culture, our thought processes were the best in the world. Then we slipped for last 10 centuries. Now we are trying to come back, and I agree with Suresh. It's all written. It's all there in our books, Indian ethos. We just have to go back and follow them. Just like yoga, which PM is trying to promote as an ethos across the world. So I am very happy that Dr. Pritam Singh led this excellent guidance to the board members, to the chairman, to the CEOs, and to the future board members. And I think Dr. Pritam Singh's guidance will always be followed. At least I follow it very, very religiously, because what he means, what he writes is for good of the country. So I really, once again, would like to thank Asha and Subir for inviting me today, and also very happy to listen to Shahi Saab and Suresh. Thank you and all the best.